Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lana and today I'm going to be reacting to some ridiculous baby products and giving my opinion about whether or not they would be a good idea. I have two little boys and I definitely have baby products that I have never used in my house and definitely things that I have bought that I never used, so I want to see what did I miss buying that I would never use. On this channel I make videos simplifying money and home to empower you to take charge of your financial future. If that's content that you need in your life, please hit that subscribe button so that YouTube notifies you every single time I upload a new video. And with that, let's jump right in. Okay, I'll try to include the links to where I found these lists. The first list is on babygaga.com. The 15 most ridiculous baby products parents actually buy. Okay, so their first product is this baby mop. So it looks like this kid is of an age where they can crawl, so they're wandering around the house and they're supposed to be multitasking for you by mopping your floor at the same time. In theory, this seems like a good idea, but then this also means that you are encouraging your child to carry around all the household dust on their person. So they're collecting all the dust and then you're supposed to change their diaper. Like, how long could they actually wear the mop outfit? Because they would be filthy after a little bit because they would have collected all the dirt from your house. Maybe your house isn't as dirty as mine, but at least for me, they would be filthy, and so after 10 minutes, I'd have to change their clothes, their fancy mop outfit, so that they wouldn't be gross. The other thing I'm thinking about is that kids outgrow their clothes so fast. Like, you'd have to buy this in all the sizes. My son, he grew out of his newborn clothes in 4 weeks, and his 6-month clothes only lasted 8 weeks. So if I bought this fancy, expensive mop outfit, it probably wouldn't last very long either. So next up is the PPTP. So this is just a little cloth cone thing that you use with boys when you're changing their diapers so they don't pee everywhere. That's the idea anyway, and I do know people that have bought them. I have never bought one. And if it works great for you, awesome. At least for me, I just throw a diaper over top of them while I'm changing my boys so they don't pee everywhere, and it seems to work just fine. That little thing, if they actually peed, like, it wouldn't absorb that much of it, so it's kind of like a one-time use thing. But I don't know about you, but I'm changing diapers like 2 or 3 times an hour, which means I'd have to have like a plethora of these little PPTP things, and then I just end up washing them anyway. So I normally just use a diaper. And the other thing that I've been noticing is that the sensitivity to coldness kind of goes away after a while. So yes, my new baby, who's now 12 weeks, he used to do that, but he only did it for like a couple weeks and then he kind of just stopped. So now when I change his diaper, I don't cover him up and I just change his diaper and we move on. It's really adorable though. Now this I didn't know existed, and I think it's pretty cool actually. This is called the Daddy Saddle. So you know how your kids want you to give them horseback rides sometimes and you crawl around if your back's okay. But this kind of like gives them the whole horse experience, I guess. And then they can hold on, and I don't know, it looks like a lot of fun. It definitely looks like something I would get because, you know, it encourages the bonding between the parents and the kid, and it's fun and exercise. So next up is potty mitts for a kid. So I think the idea is that when your kid is sitting on the potty, they're not touching the potty because you put these little potty mitts on. It says disposable hand covers, protects from germs on surface. So there's a lot of problems with these for me. One, they're like a single-use item, which means you're just going to throw them in the trash. And if you have a toddler, you know that they may spend a lot of time on the potty, or they're going to be on and off all day, especially when you're potty training. So if you'd have to use a new pair every single time they went to the bathroom, that would be ridiculous and very wasteful. The other thing is, I don't know if you've ever met a toddler, but say they have these on, and say they keep them on, which would be a miracle. Then they're touching the seat, but you know, what are they gonna do next? They're gonna touch themselves, like they're gonna touch their hair, their face, their legs, you know, which means all those germs they're just putting on their legs anyway. So it's not like you're saving them from germs, because they're not like, okay, I'm sitting on the potty with my hands out and I'm not gonna touch myself or do anything. So you're gonna get the same effect because now it's just there's a piece of plastic involved that you have to throw away. Kind of in that same vein are these diaper changing gloves. I could totally see these being useful if you worked at a daycare, even though I don't know why normal gloves don't work. But these are special diaper changing gloves. But if you are at home with your own child, I don't know about you, but I am changing diapers all day long, and that would be a lot of gloves, and that would be a lot of trash. And you know, you can always just wash your hands after you change the diaper. I've got soap and I've got water, and it seems to work just fine. And sometimes I do end up with bodily fluids on my hands, but I figure that's just part of parenthood. I also feel like this would increase the time it takes you to change a diaper. And in my mind, I'm changing 20 diapers a day. I definitely want that to happen as fast as possible. So I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. But if you're wearing these bulky gloves, then you're gonna take twice as long changing the diaper. You're gonna have to throw them out. You're gonna create more trash, and you're spending more of your day changing diapers, which is not ideal in my world. Okay, I think this is one of the most interesting ones on the list that I was finding, was this cry analyzer. I've never seen anything like this. And it's supposed to listen to your baby cry and then tell you why they're crying. And they've got bored, sleepy, stressed, hungry, annoyed. And I don't see a price for it right now, but I saw a price somewhere else, I guess, and it was like $64. I also feel like this wouldn't necessarily be useful information, and that's a lot of money to listen to your baby cry. So unless something's really wrong with your baby, I feel like, you know, if you change the baby's diaper and you fed them and they've had enough sleep, then they're probably gonna be okay and they won't cry. But I don't know how them being stressed is gonna help you respond to them. I guess the ones that I see that I don't feel like they could be very helpful would be the stressed and annoyed and bored. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Of course, if something really seems to be off with your baby, you feel like there's something making them uncomfortable that you haven't quite figured out, I don't think this device would be the answer to your problems. Because if they're having allergies or tummy issues or something, this is not going to fix it for you or even tell you what you should do about it. You probably should just go to your doctor if you can't figure out what is going on with your baby and why they keep crying. It says it's clinically certified with a 90% accuracy rate from leading research facilities. How do you verify that it's accurate? And last but not least would be this Jolly Jumper Bumper Bonnet Toddler Head Cushion. Say that 3 times fast. It's only $13, so at first I was like, okay, this is just ridiculous. Because, you know, it's part of being a kid is that you fall over sometimes, and sometimes you get little owies, and that's why you learn to walk when you're short, because there's not very far to fall. But it's only $13, and if you have had a kid, you know that phase when they're like just starting to walk, but they're really unsteady and they just fall over all the time. And it is so nerve-wracking because they need to learn how to walk, but at the same time, you don't want them to hurt themselves. So I'm thinking, you know, for $13, if they were really having a long period of like falling over and bonking their head, I might consider it for $13. If it was like $100, no way. And it does look a little bit silly, and I don't think it could really prevent you from needing to like baby-proof some things and make sure there's no really sharp corners anywhere, but it really could maybe help when your baby's falling over a lot in that weird stage. But that stage only lasts like a couple weeks, so I don't know. It's a mixed bag. I'm curious, have you come across any crazy baby products? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Also, tell me about the baby products that you thought were going to be a good idea, but they didn't actually end up being a good idea, and they weren't actually as useful as you thought. So these were just the most ridiculous ones that I could find. There's so many others, and there's so many baby gadgets out there these days that you can't possibly need or use everything. Let YouTube know that you enjoyed this video by hitting that like button, and also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.